Me this afternoon here at PDAC Toronto 2020. I'm joined by Scott Trebilcock from Core Mining. Scott, good to meet you.
Great, Andrew. Nice to meet you as well.
Give us an introduction to the company. You're fairly new to the market, so give us some background.
Yeah, so Core Mining was founded by a high net worth gentleman in Vancouver in 2017. He had the vision to buy gold assets cheap and advance those assets into a good gold market, which he seems to have predicted here. We'll see where it's going. And add a lot of value to himself and to shareholders, and we're just getting the company rolling in 2019.
Well, we'll talk about the projects in a moment, but you make an interesting point there. Gold doing well, we'll see where it's going. What are your expectations?
Well, I spent the last 9 years building up a base metal company at Nevsun Resources. We built a mine in North Africa, we bought another project, we eventually got taken over by that Chinese. And that left me with a career decision. And I was like, okay, when my next company, what do I do? And I made the specific choice of precious metals because I believe in the medium term that we're on the tail end of some kind of macroeconomic cycle that's going to bode well for gold as an asset class. This is my very simplistic way of looking at it. I think you're seeing some very microcosms of that today with a little bit of fear with coronavirus or whatever, and all of a sudden you get these hits. That's volatility. And as I said to someone earlier today, every gold mining CEO should be running through the PDAC, waving their arms in the air with excitement.
And have they been?
Yeah. There's a lot of things weighing on the sector at the moment. I think right now everyone's frozen in their tracks with the market corrections, but I think you're going to see great earnings and cash flow coming out of the majors. You're going to see this intermediates, and what their investors going to want, they're going to want growth. And they're going to have to come down and look at the juniors like myself with projects and growth to offer them. I think that's a great way for our investors to monetize and make money in investing in Core.
Well, talk us through then your projects. You've got, is it 4?
Correct, we have 4 gold projects, that's right, of varying stages.
Right. Give us an idea. Tell us a little bit about each of them.
Okay, so we'll start with the most advanced. The most advanced project, I think I described to you earlier as a flagship, is called Imperial. Imperial Project is a 2+ million ounce oxide gold deposit, which means it's very simple metallurgically. It's at the surface, it's in a remote desert location in Imperial County, California. We've got the benefit of a lot of work put into the asset into the 90s. We've brought in a great chief operating officer who got a project in California rolling in Newcastle, and he's come to help us get this project rolling. So he's come in, done a mine plan. We have a PEA coming out in that project in early Q2 of this year, and then we're going to move it into permitting and take it forward. So that's kind of the mainstay of the project, and that attracted a strategic investment in the company from Macquarie Bank that's interested in financing that project. That's kind of one path. But in the company, as you said, we have 4 assets. The other 3 are getting earlier stage exploration. Next down the sort of cycle of development is Long Valley. Long Valley is another existing gold resource that we picked up from low cost. It was drilled out by Royal Gold in Battle Mountain in the 1990s and left behind into a junior, sat idle for 20 years. And we're out doing an exploration program because I think we've got an intact epithermal deposit with a great exploration story, so we're going to do some drilling. We've got another project a little bit earlier, which is another resource that was drilled out and left behind. That deposit, we're not going to take the same exploration theory forward. We're going to reinterpret it structurally to try and make a better deposit out of a not very good deposit. That's the Fraser Gold project in BC. Then we've got an early stage exploration project sitting in the portfolio, no plan to work it right now, but a little gold discovery in the same region as Fraser Gold. So got this whole portfolio and 2 different ways to create value, development and exploration.
And both in fairly safe jurisdictions, of course, BC.
Yeah, that's right. The mining industry has a whole array of risks, right? But British Columbia and California, for sure, you've got a lot of those risks off the table. You've got rule of law. You know how everything works. You've got security of tenure. You can work and cost and contract and have all those protections. But like any mining project, you got to build local consensus and engage in order to get the social license to operate. We think we're building that at Imperial. And hopefully down the track, we can convince people on the other projects as well so we can generate value.
And across the more advanced assets you've got, what's your combined resource here?
Combined resource, we have about 2.5 million ounces of measured indicated and about 2.4 million ounces of inferred resources. So it's a large amount of ounces in a very small company. We're currently trading at about 25 million Canadian market cap, which means on a per ounce basis, it looks pretty cheap compared to some peers. And it was that valuation that attracted Eric Sprott as a strategic investor for the exploration part of the company.
Right. So remind us then, as far as the more advanced, the Imperial here, you've got the PEA that's coming out Q2
correct?
or thereabouts. And
Yep.
from there, where do you go?
Well, from there, one of the things we did with Eric Sprott's investment, we staked a large amount of claims to create sort of an area exploration play on that project. So we've got a great regional exploration program, which we're using a bit of Eric Sprott's money to go in and do geophysics and define some nice drill targets and show people, look, there's upside to also going through the permitting process here. So that work's ongoing, and you'll see some news coming out on that. But really, for the project, the key thing is to then move into permitting, and you have to put in your applications with the federal government in this case, because our permitting agency is the Bureau of Land Management.
Well, for a company that's fairly young, you seem to be moving fairly quickly.
Yes, yeah, I mean,
Across this.
that's the benefit of, particularly Imperial, that was just the benefit of work done by past operators. You know, as projects go through cycles and different periods, you know, sometimes they get left behind, and we've got our chairman did a great job putting the company together in a time when you could get assets like this at relatively low prices.
Are you looking at acquiring any other properties?
Right now, no. I think we've got our hands full with the exploration and the development we have. I think our founders have a very good sort of eye for value. So in the future, we'll look for other things. But right now, we got to start delivering value from this portfolio.
Scott, good to meet you. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Andrew.